what your name is, your full name.
Raymond Wright.
Raymond Wright.
Right, yeah.
And your date of birth?
November the 18th, 1921.
And where were you born?
Well, I've been brought up in Rochford, but I've got an idea I was born in Southend.
Ah, local.
Yeah.
And your parents' names?
Right.
That's Christian? Your father's Christian name?
Well, I don't know. I didn't know much about him.
No. Your mother?
And my mother was Olive Jane.
Olive Jane?
Olive Jane.
Olive Jane?
Yeah.
And where were you? You said you think you were born in Southend.
Yeah.
But where was your mother living?
In Rochford.
In Rochford.
We had a newsagents down West Street, near the next to the Women's Institute.
Ah, yes, near the top end of the.
Yes, right. Yeah. My mother and grandmother really looked after that. My grandfather went to work at gardener at Benford at Earl's Hall.
Yes, and what job did he have?
Gardener.
He was a gardener.
Gardener, yeah.
Right. When do you remember when your mother was born?
Yes, if she'd been alive, she'd be 100 this year.
So she was born in 1896?
She was born in September 1896, yeah.
Ah, that's an interesting anniversary.
My uncle was born when the railway was opened down to Southend in 1889.
That's your mother's brother?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yes. And did you have any brothers or sisters?
No.
None at all? So your grandmother ran the newsagent?
That's it, yes.
Yes. And what about your grandfather?
Well, he didn't have much of a say in it then because he was working at Earl's Hall.
He spent all his time working
there? Yes, yes. My grandmother and mother ran the shop.
Yes. And where had the shop come from? Did you own the shop?
Oh yes, it was their property, yeah.
Yes.
They owned the shop and the shop next door.
Did they?
Yes.
Yes. And had they bought it from
they bought it for themselves, yes, yes.
So that your grandmother could earn money as well as your
grandfather, yes.
Yes.
But they were long hours in those time of days.
That's right.
Yes, I had to get up at 5 in the morning for the paper boys to come see every so often. One certain paper boy went up the station to collect the papers.
Yes.
And I had to get up early for that to catch them. Then they had to sort them out and run the shop, which was it started at 5 at night and they didn't finish till really 9 o'clock at night.
Yes. It's a long day, as you say.
It's a long day, yeah.
And were you ever a paper boy?
Oh, no. Now, when I left the shop, I was only 9, I think.
Yes.
They were at the shop, they moved from Woods Terrace, my grandfather was a gardener then, and she was a title lady living down South Street. And there was a bit of argy-bargy at the church. My grandmother was, she would say she was a good Christian, she liked to go to church.
Yes.
And she took one of my aunts was born, a little baby there, and she started howling. And because much they get that bloody kid out of here. And for that, my grandmother never went to that church again.
Ah.
But my grandfather got the sack over that because they were church people where he used to be garden was. No, Miss Woods he worked for. Miss Woods.
And where was that?
Miss Woods was
in South Street?
In South Street, a big house there, yeah.
Yes.
Now I don't know who owns it now, but the house was taken over by Southend. And I had at the back there, down East Street, there's a sports ground there. Well, that's now council, I suppose the council bought off Southend. And that was the house down South Street now was a nurse's home, which I don't...
You're talking about South Street, Rochford?
Yes, yeah. And what is there now, I don't know. No. Because what I can gather is no nurse now at Rochford Hospital.
Yes. So, when was your grandmother born? Any idea?
She was 82 when she died, and she died in 1942, so that must...
age 1860.
What, 1860, wasn't it? Roughly, yeah. And practically the same time as grandfather, I think.
And where were they born? The grandparents in Southend again, or?
No, he was born, my grandfather was born somewhere. They're not local people. One was born near Hatfield, Broadoak, is it?
Yes.
One was born in a little place called Chrishall.
Yes.
I don't know, somewhere in the Essex-Herts border somewhere that way.
Right. Right
Yeah.
up the other side of Saffron Walden.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
In fact, it might almost be over the border.
Yeah.
It's Chrishall and Chrishall.
Yeah.
So, how long did he worked at the Woods in South Street?
Yeah.
For some years.
He come there, I suppose, when they got married, because they were married in 1881.
That's your grandparents.
My grandparents were married in 1881. And he applied for a job down here,
Yes.
and he got the job at this Woods.
That's right.
So, and they moved just down in Lee Street. That was one that actually they're doing a cottage up at the present moment.
Oh,
He lived there, but then see when he had to, when he got the sack, he had to get out of the house. Of course, they had to get out there quick, so they took that shop down West Street. They moved down there to 1910, and they come away from it in 1931.
So, the thing that interests me is that they are sufficiently wealthy to be able to buy a shop.
Well,
So,
I believe he borrowed the money off his brother, and his brother had a farm in Bletchworth, I think, in Surrey.
Bletchworth in Surrey.
Yeah, I think he had a farm there.
So it's and your grandfather then was the gardener.
Yeah.
And having been sacked by the Woods for
Yes.
not going to church.
Yeah.
Because of his boss's wife's attitude to children.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
He then went to work for the Bentalls next.
I take it he did. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course, he was when I remember him first. He was 70.
Yes.
Yeah, 70. So he didn't want a lot of work really, and he used his bike then.
Yes.
And he used to do gardening for masons at Wickford or Battlesbridge, somewhere that way. And I used to go there up the station, catch on a train, and he'd go to Wickford. Then they'd send a horse and trap for him at Wickford and take him to their place and do gardening.
Yes. There were certainly masons at Battlesbridge.
Yes, yes.
Probably elsewhere.
Yeah.
Interesting, isn't it? How old was he when he died?
80.
He was 80.
80, yeah.
So he lasted another 10 years.
Yeah.
So,
But of course, what mucked him up then, we was working at Earl's Hall, and he fell off a ladder.
yes.
So, and he had I don't know if he had a heart attack, I think he had a stroke. So that mucked him, didn't do no more work, but he was over 70 then, so I shouldn't think he wouldn't do no more work.
No. And what age was, so which year did he die?
He died in 1940.
40, yes.
Yeah.
As you say, that makes him born in 1860 again.
Yes.
As his wife was.
Yeah.
Yes. And do you remember other things about his work?
Not a lot really, no. See, I was only really a young lad.
When he died?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
No.
even when, not, but when my young days, I was only 5 or 6 then,
Yeah.
and when he died, I was, I'd been at work about 4 years. So I suppose I was 17 or 18.
Yes. And who actually, your grandmother basically ran the family, I think you said?
Yeah, she ran the business really,
She
yeah.
looked after all the finances and things
Yes,
like that.
yes.
And your mother looked after you, did she?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the shop and all.
And helped in the shop.
Yeah.
Yes. But your grandmother, of course, was not young, and she died at...
Oh no, she had orders to get out the shop because she had rheumatic fever. So that was all. That was really, if she hadn't had that, I suppose she might have hung on there a bit longer.
Yes. And
Yeah.
how old was she when she died?
82.
82.
Yeah.
So she lasted 2 more years.
Yeah.
And when you said she had to go out of the shop, did she just keep in the background, you mean? She didn't leave, she didn't sell the shop. Your mother just ran that, did she?
Oh, well, they shared it between them.
Yes.
See?
But when your grandmother was told she couldn't be in the shop because of her rheumatic fever, your mother just carried
Oh,
on running.
my mum was, yeah, but I don't know, perhaps one of her sisters was still at home, I don't know.
Your mother's sisters?
My mother's sister,
Yes.
yeah. See, two of them used to work with Miss Woods, where my grandfather was a gardener.
Yes.
Well, when he left, he said, "Well, you two, you're out of it." He said, one was a cook and one was housekeeper, so she come unstuck really when she sacked him because she lost a cook and a housekeeper.
As well, yes.
Yeah.
And that must have been quite a blow to their establishment.
Well, yes, yes.
And what did they do afterwards? Did they find other employment locally?
What, the sisters?
That's right.
No, one went to London to work.
Yes.
I think she met her husband up there, and the other one, I don't know if she was already married. She lived in South Street.
Yes.
Yeah.
And did she carry on working, do you know? Do you remember these?
Not as far back as that.
No.
Now, I can't remember any of my aunts working, really.
No.
Because one went to college.
Yes. You said they had this fracas at church. This was Rochford Church, was it?
Rochford, yes, Rochford, yes, yes.
Church of England.
Yes, Rochford Church, yeah.
Was there any obvious rivalry between the different churches in Rochford at the time?
I don't think so, no.
Because there's a very strong congregational church here
Well, actually, it's rather funny that, because after that they didn't go to church 2 or 3 times a week, but they would go Sundays.
Yes.
And my mother went to congregation, and my grandmother and grandfather used to go to the Methodist, or what was then the West Lane, down Hill Street.
This is having given up the Rochford Church.
Oh yes, I never went there anymore.
Yes. But that didn't worry them at all.
No.
They believed in God, but didn't mind particularly which branch of the...
No.
What did your mother and grandmother do in their spare time? I know they wouldn't have had too much.
What, at the shop?
Yes.
They never had any, did they?
None at all?
No.
Did they not close any days of the week?
No, the only time they used to close was Wednesday afternoons, 1 o'clock.
Yeah. And what do they do on the Wednesday afternoons?
Well, I think they'd have a rest.
Just put their feet up?
Yeah.
Yes. Did they take...
Because, I mean, my mother had to do the washing.
Yes.
And of course, my grandmother was in the 70s. She didn't want anything to do at all.
It must have been quite a difficult life, really.
Well, really, yes. Because the shop used to be able to keep clean. I think I heard my mother say she used to be on her hands and knees washing the front step at 9 o'clock on a Saturday night.
And did you say going on till 9 o'clock at night?
Yes, yeah. See, I think the hours during the week, I believe the hours were 7 o'clock up till Thursday, 8 o'clock Friday, and Saturday was 9 o'clock.
This was the shop closing?
Shop closed then, yes.
You don't get many people working those hours today, do you?
Of course, none at all, do you?
No. Did you have any entertainment in the home at all?
Nothing at all.
Did you take a newspaper?
You didn't, well,
Your mother?
Yeah, we had a...
They've got them in the shop.
You've got them in the shop and you could look through them all.
Yes, so they didn't actually have one themselves.
Oh, no. Well, I don't think I'd have much time to look at it, really. But, I mean, I might just glance at the headlines. And, of course, there was no radio then.
No, I suppose not.
No radio. And no electric.
No.
Not then, there was only old gas lights then.
Yes. That's a different world.
Yeah.
When did... You stayed there until, you said, I think, 8 or 9?
Yes, 1931 I come here.
Yes.
So I was
Into
10.
this house?
Into this house, yeah.
And the address of this is 22?
22 Stanbridge Road.
Stanbridge Road,
Yeah.
Yes. You've been here ever since?
Yeah.
Yes. Before we leave your childhood, where did you go to school?
Rochford, Up Ashton Road,
Yes.
primary school. Well, it was all in one in those days. The primary school. Then next door was the standard 1, 2, 3 up to 7.
Is this on the corner of of Hall Road?
That's it. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how long were you there for?
All till I left school.
At the age of?
Well, I was nearly 50, 14 and a half when I left school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And did you enjoy your time there?
Well, looking back now, yes.
But do you think you enjoyed it at the time?
No.
Not really?
No. But you didn't have so much sort of activities then as what they do now. We had very little recreation.
Yes.
But I think we learnt more.
And did you make lots of friends there as children?
Well, yes, there was friends. Well, it was a small community, really. You knew everybody and everybody else.
Before you even went to school?
Yeah.
Yes. And have you kept up with many of them since?
No. But several of them had died.
Yes. Quite.
Yeah.
Did you have any particular subjects which you enjoyed?
I think it was geography, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you left, you said, at 14 and a half.
14 and a half, yeah.
And what did you do then?
Went straight to the mill.
And you've been there, you went there, were there ever since?
Yeah.
Yes. Quite a remarkable for someone. So what did you first do when you went to school, went to the mill rather?
Well, I was on day work, and actually because I was too young to do shift work, I was just a cleaner up.
Yes.
Clean up the floors, yeah.
And what did the mill consist of in those days? It's changed a lot.
How do you mean consist of?
Was the tide mill still working?
Oh, the water mill was still working, yes,
Yes.
because that's where they used to make barley meal.
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't in flour, it didn't used to make flour there, but all the barley meal was made there.
And what was that used for?
Animal food.
And was it used locally or was it
Oh, yes.
shipped away?
No, it wasn't shipped away, we used it round about here, you know.
Yes. For animal feed?
Animal feed, yeah.
Yes.
But mostly used for pig food.
Pig food, yes.
Yeah.
And were there many pig farmers around at the time?
Well, there's quite a few.
What date are we talking about, by the way, when you started? You were 14, so it was 1930?
1936.
36,
Yeah.
yes. When you started there.
Yeah.
So the tide mill was still there?
Well, water mill was, yes.
Yes.
That worked until, well, up to the war, because that ran on special wooden blades round. It's an iron framework with special sort of wood on it.
Yes.
But I think the wood was unobtainable going to the war, and so it gradually got run down less and less.
Sometime during the war they gave up using that. And what else did they have as well? What other mill did they have?
Oh, they had the steam mill, which is, well, so it's working now. It isn't because it's all been so much altered.
Yes. And that was a steam mill run on what fuel?
Coal.
And where did the coal come from?
Well,
How did the coal arrive?
Years ago, I think it came by water. Because in Rochford, we had a Rochford Gas and Coke Company.
Yes.
And that used to be just down here, East Street, where the gasworks was. But that was before the railway came, so the coal must have come up by barge.
Yes. But in your day, the coal arrived
By rail.
by rail.
By rail, yeah.
And then how did it get?
See, we come off the station, with some lorries used to go up the station, collect the coal and bring it back down the mill.
By lorry?
By lorry, yeah.
Yes. So you had quite a fleet of lorries there just for that job?
Well, no, we used to scrub them out and put flour in them afterwards. Well, one was actually some of the lorries were flat, you see, so they wouldn't take coal. But one old lorry used to be kept for all. But it used to take animal food out because that didn't matter so much. Yeah. But they used to take coal in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then just clean it out.
Just scrub it out, yeah, with a stiff broom.
So how often did they have to go and collect coal?
They'd be so often. Depends. See, if they never run out of coal, put it like that.
No.
They'd have so much allocated every so often, you see.
Yes. This was during the war you're talking about now, or before?
No,
the
no,
war?
no. During the war I wasn't here.
No. Okay.
So it's before the war, yes, yes, yes.
So they would actually take the lorry up and sort of build up their stockpile of coal at the mill.
Yeah.
And then clean it out and use it for other jobs. And when the stockpile went down...
Yeah, well, you always used to have, I think, so much coal was allocated in a month. But before the war, we didn't use so much. Because in 1940, the mill gave up that mill went by electricity. We had an electric motor stored in there, and part of the old steam engine, which could still run the mill, was pulled down and buried somewhere in the field. So if there was an invasion, they couldn't run the mill.
That's interesting.
Yeah. What happened to that, I don't know.
What else did you do after your first jobs of just sweeping up and keeping the place clean?
Yeah, well, I was called up doing that.
So you were still doing that
when
the
I
war
walk
broke?
over, yes, yeah.
And when were you called up?
1941.
At the age of...
Well, I think I was abroad.
19?
I think I was abroad when I was 19 or 20.
Yes. So you were here when the war started? And
Oh, yes, yes.
All those things. And
Yeah,
what
yeah.
other effects did the war have around here?
Well, I don't really know because, see, I was away and never used to know what happened.
I meant in the early days when you were still here, before you were called up in 1941, no one tried to evacuate you?
Oh no, because you was on it's food production, you see.
Right.
I wonder I was called up because some of them down there got they were deferred.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the people you were working with tended not to get called up?
No.
What about your school friends? Did any of those get called up earlier than you did?
I don't think so. Well, I don't know. I lost count of a lot of them.
Yes.
I think they would all be in the service of some sort or other.
Yes. So when in 1941 you were called up, you weren't protected by your job from being called up?
Oh no.
Sweeping up wasn't sufficiently
No.
And who did you join?
Royal Artillery.
And where did you go to?
Well, I was in the Middle East, Italy, Greece. That's where I finished up in Greece.
It was a fairly eventful wartime.
Yes, oh yes.
That I think deserves another talk sometime. But when did you come back?
1946.
What month, do you remember?
Oh, September.
So you were there for quite a long time after
Oh,
the end
yeah.
of the war, and that was in Greece.
I just come home in 1945 for a month.
That was your only... You said you were abroad by 1941, so you were away for 5 years.
Yeah. I called up in 1941. I went abroad in April 42.
Yes. So it was still quite a long service.
Quite a long time, yeah.
And did that affect your attitude to life when you came back?
I don't know.
What did you do when you came back?
I went the same job, but down the mill still.
Yes.
But there I got work myself up.
Yes. But did you start again by sweeping and rapidly go up, or did you
No.
go straight into something else?
Go straight into something else.
What was that?
A shift work. I was like an explorer,
Yes.
doing shift work.
What did the shift workers do?
Well, the same, only look after the machines more.
Right.
Yeah. They had to be maintained, cleaned out, and see if they were working properly, and do the sweeping up, cleaning up at the same time.
Yes. You couldn't get away from that.
No. Oh no, you had to keep the place clean.
Yes. And how long were you doing that sort of shift work? What was the next step up in your...
Well, before that I had a job on day work again, taking wheat in.
Accepting the wheat that was being brought in.
That's it, yeah, and checking it and looking at it and see where to put it, what sort of wheat it was and all that.
Yes.
And then I went, after that I went on the rolls. I was only there about a year or so doing that. On the rolls, that was a top job in the mill.
Yes. So you were a year doing the acceptance of the wheat, and then you went on to the serious...
Yes, I don't know. I went on the rolls in 1951.
Yes.
That's where I practically finished, been there 30 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the top job, in other words,
that was a
the
top
most
job.
responsible one.
That's it, yeah.
And what do you have to do there that made it so responsible?
Well, you were in charge of everybody. You were the chaps under you,
Yes.
and the machines, and the quality of the flour.
The quality of the flour?
The quality, yeah.
Yes, so you were checking that at the end.
Yeah.
Making certain that people did their other jobs.
Yeah.
How... The mill at some stage was served by water, even in your day, was it not? They brought in something by water, did they not?
By water?
Yes.
Oh yes, everything. Well, everything. Most of the wheat did, because in that time of day, the wheat was 75% was foreign wheat.
So you'd given up just getting things from the local farmers and selling things to the local farmers, and were doing much wider business.
Oh yes, even when I started there, it was practically all foreign wheat.
Was it?
Oh yes, most of it come from Canada, then there's some come from the United States, well, practically all the same, although it isn't, because wheat was grown in the state of Manitoba's.
Yes.
And their wheat was very good wheat. There used to be 6 grades of that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Number one...
It's to do what is known as hardness.
Yeah, and the quality, yes. And the shape of it, that all counts. I mean, number 1s we never see because they were too dear. But we mostly ground up 2s and 3s, and number 6s were mostly for chicken food, really.
And the 2s and 3s were for what purpose?
Flour.
For human consumption?
Oh yes. Yeah. And then we had so much Australian. That wasn't so hard, but it was a better colour, creamy white. And then you had what they call the pillar wheats. They were a wheat to make up the grist, because a grist was a collection of wheats to make the mixture up, to grind.
Which gave you the quality of the flour at the end.
That's
of the day.
it.
Yes.
So you couldn't have all one sort of wheat, not enough. See, if you had old Manitobas, you had a hard wheat, but the colour wouldn't be there. Whereas if you had a little less hard wheat, and more same as Australian and English, you get a better blend of colour, you see, yes. And the quality of flour.
How did this flour go out? You said some of it was going out in lorry loads.
Yeah, all bags.
In bags?
All bags at that time of day, yes. Yeah.
And
10 stone in the bag.
And who, excuse me, who was it being sent to? Who were you selling it to as a mill?
Well, in that time of day, there was more little customers. You see, yes. Today they're mostly all big bakers now, but these are no end of small ones. I mean, you have a big lorry load of about, the biggest one we had was what they call an Armstrong saw. It was a diesel, but they had a lorry and trailer, but that would take up half its load, an 8 ton we put on a lorry, and that'd be all 8 ton of flour, all for little people. They made about 20 bags at a time.
And where are these the bakers? In Southend or further afield?
Some in Southend, but most of them were in London. See, we went up to North London, Finchley, Stamford Hill, Grays. There's several people in Grays, and there's no end in Southend.
And what was the name it was being sold under? Because I realise I've missed asking you what the name of the mill was.
Well, the mill was just Rankin's Flour Mill.
Just?
Yes, because yeah.
What was the flour sold as?
Well, one patent. Patent names. Radium was a sort of straight flour, and then you had a top grade was Pride of Essex. They were patent names.
Under the Rankin banner.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Then you had another flour which was a very top grade called non-superior. Now that was 2 or 3 bags they took off the straight run, if you follow me, and labelled that as non-superior. But when you made that, you also made radium, which was not quite as good quality as a Pride of Essex, if you see what I mean.
Yes. So you've got the non-superior as the top, then the Pride of Essex, and then the...
And then you see...
What was the name again? Radium?
Radium it's called then, radium. Just a name, no.
R-A-D-I-U-M?
R-A-D-I-U-M, yes, that's it, yep.
Yes.
See, that you had radium and non-superior, put them together, and you got Pride of Essex.
Yes. But you wouldn't normally put them together. This would come out.
You
would start in the grist.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, no, you couldn't. But no, you wouldn't. Yeah, because it was all together in the first place. Then. So you've took the flour was divided into 3 grades. We had a top grade, a middle grade, and a low grade. Well, you take so much of a low grade out.
Yes.
Or rather, then otherwise you wanted non-superior and radium, you had to take 2 or 3 bags of top grade out.
And who would buy the very expensive top grades?
I don't know.
Yeah. You didn't have any real sight of the end product?
No, not really, no, just went out to different labels, that's all, yes, yes.
And how many lorries would go out a day?
Before the war, see, we had a 30 hundredweight, 2 3-tonners, a 5-tonner and a 6-tonner. And plus the big one, first one, we had a lorry and trailer, which a combined weight with that would take 14 tonne. But you never got them all going out with flour all at once. Because, see, we had a quota and we couldn't sell too much flour during the week.